So in this video, we'll be talking about adding some sort of a button onto our main screen to launch a PLC procedure, and namely that will be a software PLC procedure, one of these procedures with a double underscore in front of its name. So as a quick reminder, typically our software PLCs, as the ones you see here, are launched as soon as you launch the myCNC application. Or let's say if you created a new one and press the Save All, Build All buttons, it will be launched then. So they're effectively running in the background at all time, let's say checking for exhaust control, etc., whatever you may have. But here we have a special subset of software PLCs that has a double underscore to note that they are different for the software. And these are our system PLC procedures. And these are not started automatically with the myCNC software start, but instead they are started either when some sort of an event occurs. So for example, handler init is started when you launch the myCNC application, or they are started manually upon some sort of a button press, etc. So for example, in this video, we'll be trying to launch the BV17 software PLC, which checks our hardware, it checks our peripherals by running through them. So for example, it is already assigned to this button right here. I am checking my outputs here, and I can turn it off with this 0 button. So we have a very clear visual indicator that we have this software PLC running, and if it's stopped, we can take a note of that immediately. And let's say we'd like to add this button right here. And to do that, first we'll head into our configuration folder, then myCNC, profiles, select the profile you're using. So here I'm using the X1366P, and then select the proper XML file. So here I'll be adding it to the main screen. So I'll be opening this file right here. And a full manual on screen editing is available at the link at the bottom of the screen. The manual is called Screen Editing and Configuration at our online documentation wiki. But here we'll be going over the basics of adding a button. So, for example, I have this code that I've already written out, and I will add to this XML file for the main screen. So, this is where it's going to be. XP is our main screen. Type is a button. We have a position on the main screen, and this can be largely determined by trial and error, but here I happen to know that it will be 880 pixels and 0 pixels from the top. Then we have our image, and I'm just recycling an image from the play button right here. I have some sort of a tooltip that says what a button does, and this is simply for convenience for an operator, let's say. And then I have my action. So the action is the important part. It is what happens when I press that button. And here the action is soft PLC run, and then the name of the software PLC you're trying to launch. So let's save this file, and let's reload the application and see what happens. So here we have reloaded the application, and we can now see that I have a button that appeared on my main screen. As I've mentioned, I'm just using the recycled art for my program start button. And if you'd like to find out more about how to use the different arts, etc., please do visit the full screen editing and configuration manual. However, here we can see that the button appeared. I can press it now. And if I go into my diagnostics, I can see that my peripherals diagnostics test is now running. So I can turn it off, press it again, it's running again. Let's say we turn it off. And it's important to note here that this is not strictly limited to your software PLC procedures. You can also run your hardware PLC procedures with a very similar manner. So here, for example, I have my M62, let's say, which simply sets some sort of a port. So it will set your output depending on whichever EPRAM value is fed to it. So let's say we feed 10 into this hardware PLC, then port number 10 will come on. And to implement something like that, you can do it in a very similar way. You will simply change this to, say, PLC run instead of software PLC run, or rather soft PLC run. And then you will type in M62 for the hardware PLC and the EPRAM value you're feeding to it. So in our case, let's say we'd like to turn on output 10. So that about covers creating a button from your main software screen. Thank you for watching. Please visit our documentation at docs.bbautomation.com for more information.